俺様がこの手でバラバラに。
It's so easy to get lost in the world of anime, but there's one thing that's cool about the medium. It feels empowering. I think that's why it's so effective as a form of escapism and why overpowered characters are so popular amongst the teenage populace. So for today, our list is about some of my favourite showcases of power done by younger teenage characters on people who, on the eye test, would have blown them out of the water. Age and experience? That's nothing. If you thought Japanese light novel characters are overpowered, let me introduce you to what Chinese novels have been giving us. There are lots of series, long-running series, that will put people like Rimuru or Tatsuya to shame, and one of those is Daily Life of Immortal King. The name should have given you enough hints already, but actions speak louder than words, so I present to you this video of Wang Ling easily annihilating the Demon King and saving the world. With how he nonchalantly no-sells the attacks and sends the enemy packing, it's giving me flashbacks of Arnos. Yeah, I think with how powerful Wang Ling has been established in the series, no one less than Arnos himself can match how hilariously overpowered this guy is. Or Saitama, I suppose, whichever genre you prefer. The point is, if you need any more proof of how overpowered Chinese novel characters can be, take note that Daily Life of Immortal King is just the tip of the iceberg. After that, we move on to Killua versus Jonas. If there's an opponent needed to match Killua's training as a member of the Zoldyak family, it's got to be someone like Jonas, right? A notorious mass murderer with a sadistic streak, Jonas has no shortage of sadism and confidence in himself. This is a guy who takes pleasure from murders and gleefully embraces the feeling of flesh and blood. A perfect match who will take Killua to the limit, right? Wrong. For all the supposed hype and big talk surrounding Jonas, he just gets easily destroyed by Killua. In the blink of an eye, Mr. Mass Murderer here gets his heart plucked out and crushed, quickly putting an end to the deathmatch. He didn't even have a chance to comprehend what hit him. If that's not a way to show off Killua's prowess in the most dominating manner possible, then I don't know what is. Before we continue, how about a treat? Watching the best anime videos necessitates the best food around, and my personal recommendation for you is today's sponsor, Tokyo Treat and Sakurako. They're subscription-based snack boxes that aim to give you the best and most authentic Japan experience. On one hand, we have the Tokyo Treat box, which includes up to 20 exclusive, limited edition and seasonal Japanese snacks like Japanese special Kit Kat, soda, ramen, and many more. And this month's theme is Akiba Adventure. Yep, Tokyo Treat looks to take you on a trip through Japan's pop culture heaven. Speaking of, we've got a special Kit Kat flavor for this month only, Autumn Chestnut. As for the Sakurako box, it includes 20 authentic and artisan Japanese snacks, tea, and kitchenware. And we have a theme that's just as cool. Bet you didn't know about Koyo, right? Koyo is the tradition related to appreciating the seasonal change brought by fall. It's where people go out and admire the beautiful fall foliage, and Sakurako has some autumnal sweets to help you get in the mood. I personally really like the walnut mochi. If any of the boxes interest you, head over to the description box and start ordering. And don't forget to use the code VINI to get $5 off your first box. There's a lot to like in Jujutsu Kaisen's prequel movie, Jujutsu Kaisen 0. A few lists ago, I covered a nice Gojo fight from the movie, but it's time we focus the spotlight on another character this time, Yuta. It's nice seeing Yuta get his time to shine in the movie. He and Geto had a fight that's worth 1,000 words, so here's the clip to let you experience the action for yourself. You've got to love those camera angles and how they make fights really intense. More importantly for this list though, is the fact that we've got another candidate for the most powerful anime punches here. Talk about a huge momentum shift after how Geto seemed to have the upper hand for most of the fight. A comeback made even more amazing with how it's presented and the magic of cinematic quality. I expected Jujutsu Kaisen on the big screen to look great, but this is just taking it to another level. For someone not on the protagonist side for once, here's Obito's rage moment. There are few things that are stronger motivators for anime characters than seeing the death of a loved one. We often associate that with the heroes, but even villains have those moments too, and those often lead them down their diverging paths. Take Obito for example. Seeing Rin die at the hands of Kakashi was enough for him to awaken the Mangekyo Sharingan, and let's just say that the results ain't pretty, especially if you're one of the poor souls in the vicinity. It's a slaughter like no other, and it didn't matter if Obito is completely outnumbered. There are few things that compare to the power of an angry Obito wielding one of the most powerful weapons in the Naruto universe. Even at his young age, he'd already shown tremendous power. No wonder he became such a thorn for the heroes as he grew. Kaguya vs Obito is up next. Beware the nice ones, a super common saying, and frankly it's become cliche at some points already, yet anime protagonists seem to forget this all the time, like when Obito pushes one button too many when he fights Shinpachi and Kaguya. After handling his business quite well, Obito decided to go for more, to relish the moment and let Kaguya see Shinpachi in quite the most tragic way possible. Big mistake though, as all this does is awaken Kaguya's Yato blood, and the rest is history. This is a Kaguya that we just don't see. Gone was the old Kaguya, and what we have in place here is a deranged killing machine, even drawing comparisons to Kamui. Even as Obito tries fighting back, it's all futile against the unleashed Kaguya, and he very nearly loses his life in the process. It's a one-sided route, there's no other way to put it. Our strongest instincts get awakened in the midst of a pinch, and when some of the nicest people get pushed to a corner, the results ain't pretty. Obito had to learn this the hard way. Mob shows Koyama who's boss in the next scene. There are many things to remember Mob Psycho Season 1 for, but if we're talking simple flexing of power by our unassuming teenage hero, this one's probably it. This is the highlight of the season. Koyama does seem to get the upper hand at first, roughing up our hero a little bit, but when the gloves come off, then it's over. Much like the Kaguya moment, this is one of those super rage moments triggered by seeing a friend in danger, but in comparison to that, I think this one is a tad better in terms of animation and presentation. Then again, it is Mob Psycho we're talking about, so that is a no-brainer. On another note, I've always appreciated how the psychic meter gets utilized in early Mob Psycho. It gives a sense of escalation, and with it, a lot of anticipation for viewers to see the moment when Mob does reach its breaking point. Next up is Luffy's Red Rock moment against Kaido. Heads up! Is this the climax of One Piece or what? For a lot of people, it does feel like it. After so much build-up, the fight with Kaido is here, and to say that it broke all expectations is an understatement. The long clash that pits our heroes and their allies against the Beast Pirates has been a ride, and I don't think that clips alone can do it any justice. It's the payoff to a long build-up in an arc that has quickly become my favorite. And of course, we have some landmark moments that include Luffy finally managing to land a decisive hit on the previously impervious Kaido. As someone who's been billed as a crazy OP villain, seeing Luffy bring Kaido to his knees was such a great treat, but to do it like that and with the OP playing, goosebumps I tell you, goosebumps. As I said, clips don't do it justice. Even if you're a lapsed One Piece fan who only follows spoilers, at least watch this clash. It might reignite your love for the franchise with how awesome it is in anime form. Lastly, we have Ichigo versus Aizen. How appropriate. Just as Bleach made its much-awaited return as an anime, we get to relive this fight and remember how Ichigo just flexed his power over Aizen. For so long, Aizen has been this untouchable, unbeatable villain who's always about 5 steps ahead of everyone else. Post-Dangai Ichigo, however, is a completely different beast, and for the first time, we truly see Aizen become unhinged at the prospect of possibly fighting a being stronger than he is. It's got all the hallmarks of a Bleach-style ass-kicking to drive home the point that yes, Ichigo here is far and above the strongest being in universe as of the time of this episode. Entire mountains being leveled by slashes, high-powered Kidos being no-sold, and Ichigo even getting a measure of revenge by stopping Aizen's sword with his bare hands. It's a true showcase of power, and the way the scene plays out, it really drove the point home. That just about wraps up my list. Finishing with Bleach just seems right. But is that your favorite showcase of power by a teenage character? Tell me what you think about the list in the comment section. Also, you might want to check out the rest of the channel for more videos that you might like. I hope you like watching the video. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.